Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that you can hear me. You got me down? Good sound? Yeah? Okay, good. I did want to thank Clint Eastwood for lending me his chair. Sorry to see that Clint lost the debate to the chair, but any rate, Billionaires and Ballot Bandits, How to Steal an Election in 9 Easy Steps. Greg Palast investigates the Coke Gang, Karl Rove, and their buck buddies. The story, however, starts up the Congo River, and that's why tonight I'm very, very happy that Teaching for Change is sponsoring tonight with TransAfrica, with Code Pink, with WPFW, and, of course, Friends of Congo, my friends here. And what does that have to do with the theft of an election? We're 2 weeks from at least 5.9 million votes, which will be stolen. Now, and I want to, by the way, thank 7 Stories Press for publishing this book in coordination with my not-for-profit foundation, the Palast Investigative Fund. We're nonpartisan. We are nonprofit, and we are non-bullshit. Okay, so we are putting out this book, and so you can always go to our website, ballotbandits.org, for the latest. Now, I said it starts in the Congo, but I'm going to tell you the end of the book, the last chapter. I'm going to give it away right now because I put it on the cover of Nation magazine, figuring that a lot of you won't get to the end. I also put, by the way, a comic book in the middle of it, 50 pages of comics by Ted Rall, knowing that so many of you have gone to America's No Child's Behind Left schools, so we have lots of illustration. And the e-book version, if you download it, is full color, just like our campaigns. Now, the headline, the last chapter of the book, and the headline, cover story of this week's Nation, is Mitt Romney's auto bailout bonanza. The punchline is Mr. Romney, Mr. Let Detroit Go Bankrupt, pulled into his pockets at least $15.3 million from the auto bailout. That's the number that's been repeated in the press, but I said that was the lower end of the bound. I said it was likely that it was $115 million, and today, Mr. Romney's campaign issued a statement saying that was accurate. Now, you saw that on the front page of the Washington Post. No. I report for the #1 English language newspaper, The Guardian, where this last story about Romney's Billionaires covered the entire front page of the newspaper. And my last story about Mr. Romney and his Billionaires was at the top of the nightly news for BBC television, where I'm an investigative reporter. Now, I know that in case you don't know what investigative reporting is, it's not done here because it's a violation of Patriot Act 3, which is why you haven't seen me on any of the local, the Peacock or the Foxhole or the Eyeball. It's not really an eyeball, it's a pimple on the rectum of Viacom, but or even MSDNC. But some of you got that. Mr. Romney and his money, that's all right, as Governor Romney himself would say. In America, we like to celebrate success. And his success is nothing compared to his partners. 3 billionaires who operate hedge funds partnered with Romney on a takedown of the Treasury and the auto bailout. 3 guys earned $4.2 billion from the U.S. Treasury. You remember that from the debate, right? No one's asks, no one's answering. But again today, we got the confirmation from the Romney campaign. Now, what is this all about? And what does this have to do with the Congo? I was reporting for BBC Television and The Guardian when I found out that someone had figured out how to dip their hands, their claw, into the foreign aid funds, the debt relief given to the Republic of Congo, which is suffering a cholera epidemic. This money was intended to be used, $90 million intended to be used to end a cholera epidemic in the Congo. And yet it was waylaid by a bird of prey, a vulture fund, a guy named, managed by a guy named Paul Singer, Paul the Vulture Singer. Now his other middle name is Elliott, Paul Elliott Singer, who has a company that goes by the name of Elliott Management. So I went up the Congo River for BBC Television to find out what happened, and I found Elliott Management had their claws around the cholera money for the Congo. We reported it on BBC Television, and the very next day, the Parliament voted unanimously to outlaw the tactics of the vulture. And one of the Congos got some of its money. Well, that's the happy point, see? Germany outlawed Paul the Vulture Singer and his activities. South America, everywhere he tries to perch, his activities are outlawed as cruel, manipulative, and at times fraudulent, and a threat to the world financial system, let alone cholera victims. But then I saw something interesting. I was looking through the Ann Romney Blind Trust. Now, you can see these figures on here. If you can see some of these places where she has put her money. Of course, when I say her, Ann doesn't have her own money. It's, of course, transferred from Mitt. The Ann Romney Blind Trust, or I should amend that. It's actually the Ann Romney Blonde Trust, because you can see right through it, okay? You can see right through it. And right there, if you can see the yellow line, is Elliott Management, Elliott Associates. It turns out that a vast chunk of the Romneys' vast wealth is not in Bain Capital, is not in Chrysler. It is in this, been put in the hands of the vulture. Now, all right, what have they done? Besides the Congo takedown, I don't know if the Romneys are in on it, because I would need to see their 2009 taxes. I've asked. They lost them. The dog ate it. Second, but I was able to do some investigation. I did find out one thing for certain, that they were part and parcel of a move on Detroit. Because see, if it's illegal, the vulture's activities in the Congo and in Europe and elsewhere now, it's not illegal in the United States, where the vultures landed in Detroit. Now, vultures feast when things die. So when Mr. Romney says, let Detroit go bankrupt, let it die, what we're doing is creating a feast for the vulture. Here's what they did. The U.S. government, under Obama and under, by the way, George Bush, it's not Obama's bailout, even though he thumps his chest and takes the applause and the beatings for it. It was created by George W. Bush. It was voted in October, then December, TARP and the auto bailout. It was taken over by Mr. Obama. In the meantime, the Obama administration, picking up from Bush, came up with a deal to save three companies: General Motors, Chrysler, and Delphi. What's Delphi? Delphi is the old Delco auto parts division of GM. You know, Delco batteries, right? Everyone has Delco batteries. Well, when GM got desperate, it chopped off pieces of itself. It cut off its own parts and set off Delphi on its as a separate company, which immediately, pretty quickly, went bankrupt. Well,